Hey, hey, it says that we are live and we are live to come at you teaching a little bit on how to be consistent and dominate your workload in as little as just 1 hour a day. Now, you might be wondering, is this training for me? Let's see if it is. I find oftentimes after talking with a lot of other network marketers that this happens to be one of their biggest struggles with being consistent and posting every single day or showing up on social media because they have a full time job or they have kids, young kids, kids that aren't in school yet that they have to have full-time care for. Or maybe they're taking care of family members or family affairs that are currently going on within, their family or their parents of their own. Or maybe it's a combination of all three. Or actually, it might be one more that I want to add to that. Maybe you just don't know what to do in order to stay consistent. Whatever it is, if you struggle with consistency, let us know below because here's the thing, it is going to be really, 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 really difficult to build a community on social media to develop that know, like, and trust so you can make more sales and enroll business builders if you're not consistent. So if that's you, if you're struggling with it, go ahead, let us know below. I'm here to say that you're not alone. If you're like anxious of admitting the truth, you're not alone. I've struggled with consistency. Cassie, have you struggled with consistency?
Yes, 100%.
By the way, guys, if you don't know who we are, my name is Sarah Lynn Kate, and this is Cassie Billingsley, aka the systematic chick. By the
Hello.
way, the poor girl is still sick. Her voice is in and out a little bit. So, but she
Yes.
was determined with showing up. I'm like, are you sure? So it's not me. I'm not the hard ass here. She's just the badass that she is. And she's like, no, I am here to show up to the community. I have the energy. It's just my voice is a little wonky at the moment.
Exactly. Yes. And yeah, Sarah Lynn's like, okay, are you sure? And I'm like, yes, because I am committed to you guys. And hopefully eventually this gets gone because I'm tired of it. By the way, good morning. Brittany, I had looked online to see who the first one was. The second one, I'm not 100% sure because I didn't see, but it says Facebook user. But good morning to you both. So today we wanted to share with you how to be consistent and how to dominate your workload in as little as 1 hour a day. Like, drop me like the little hand emoji if you wanted to do your workload in as little as 1 hour. Yes, please. Thank you. I hope to feel better soon too. It's been a week. No, Ban, I still can't see your name. StreamYard really dislikes you. I'm
me, and,
sorry.
me and Ann, StreamYard just doesn't like our accounts for some
Yeah,
reason.
sorry, my friend. So I'm curious to know how many of you have heard about time blocking. If you guys have blocked out your time before, if you've tried it, you really didn't know how to leverage it or use it, let me know. Drop me a one in the comments if you guys have ever time blocked before. So the reason I ask this is because we all have the same 160 hours in a week, guys. That's a lot of hours, right? And yet so much of it is consumed by just our everyday mundane stuff, because we all still have the same 24 hours a day. But we have different things that go on. I'm a mom. Sarah Lynn is, a fur baby mom. Our lives are a little bit different and consumed by different things. Granted, I think I might want to trade in my kids every now and then and just go have puppy serotonin all the time. But then
I
there's
mean, she's
things.
pretty needy right now. My
I was
dog of
gonna
mine is
say,
very
right
needy.
now I would take my kids over your dog.
She's very clingy.
I'll deal with the boy hormones instead of the female dog hormones.
There you go.
So I don't know about you, but when I block out my time for like an appointment or a meeting, I manage to show up, right? Despite the craziness and the stuff and the things that are going on around me, it's in my phone. Like, I have to show up for that meeting or that appointment. So this is what we call time blocking. It's that you can manage your time. You can make the most out of your time, but you can't but you can like block out different chunks of your time to see what's available for your business. And we actually recommend you to do this first, then putting in your business we actually recommend this method when you time block. So what I recommend you do is you pull out your calendar, and I want you to be very detailed about your whole week, and starting with the first 24 hours. Okay. So block out your non negotiables. You have a work, right? You have to sleep, and you have, so like say you work 40 hours a week. If you're working a full time job, that's a non negotiable, right? You have to show up for your job. So that's 40 hours. That's blocked out already. Sleep, 8 hours a night. If you're like me, 9 o'clock, everybody knows I'm in bed by 9 p.m., but I'm up between 5 and 6 a.m. So block out your sleep. Okay. So that's 56 hours. Okay. Now, what time do you have left in your week? You have 72 hours left. What else do you need to put in there? Hey, see somebody else jumped on. Not sure who you are, but you said, hey, ladies. So hi. So from there, write out on your time block, and I'll kind of show you what this looks like. Write out your other non-negotiables. You have dinner, maybe you have breakfast, maybe it's getting the kids off to school, picking them up from school. Maybe you have a meeting that you have to attend to, doctor's appointments, whatever it is, you need to put that on your calendar because that's a non-negotiable. Your family comes first, you guys, before your business and your work, okay? You guys know us. We're not about the hustle culture. We're not about kicking your kids to the curb and making sure you're running your business. We're about putting our family first, cultivating that freedom, and then working on our business. So now you need to write out some things that are fun, right? You got to have fun in your life. You can't be all work and gung ho and that. And if you thought I was going to say this is your work time, you're wrong, because you can't do your business with an empty cup, because then what happens? You get burnt out, you get overwhelmed, you're not taking care of yourself. So this could be like a date night, a me time, a kid time, a girls' night, whatever it is that you look forward to having fun in that week. That is crucial that you put that on your calendar. Okay. So like for me, when I time block, I'm going to show this real quick. Like I color code mine, of course. And I just got this at Walmart, guys. Okay. It's just a calendar, plain Jane, but it actually has, focus, a work section and a home section. So I know what I can expect each day. Okay. Walmart, I think it was like $10 or less. But I color code mine because I like things fancy and I write in different color writings. But I put in what are my non-negotiables? What is it that I have to do? My home life, like I had a funeral this day. This takes priority. Get something that works for you. Another thing, if it's super important and things that I have to do, I put it on my phone. It's in my Google Calendar, so I get reminders. Okay, reminders are keys. So see what time you have left, and that's where your business fits in. Where is that time that your business can fit in? What do you need to do to make maybe a little bit of adjustments? It can be 15-minute increments. It can be just 1 hour a day. It doesn't have to be a solid hour. It could be 15 minutes here and there. So you actually have more time than you realize most often. Occasionally you might have less time, but you might need to delegate some things. Prioritize those priorities that come first. Okay, so whatever it is, if you know what time you have, then that's the time that you can block out for your business.
Absolutely. And I just want to add to the time blocking piece. When we set appointments, like going to the doctors, or Cassie, I know like your kids are in football, like you're there for each and every game. You make it work to show up to those events. And it's
Right.
because you've made that commitment by blocking that time. You made that appointment. You've made that commitment. When you make that, when you find that time that you can commit to your business, you're going to show up as well. Just like you just make it work, like, okay, this is right here. So it is important to, yes, guard your time, because I don't know about you, Cassie. When I first learned about the concept of time blocking, sometimes I'm like, oh, here's that time. I don't want to do it.
Yes. Well, and the
So,
other thing is like when you're working on your time blocking, notice your energy levels. Are you more energetic in the morning, ready to go working, or is it more in the afternoon? See, Sarah Lynn and I are opposites because I get up. The first thing I do, besides like gratitude, my morning little routine, is I dive into work. After I get my kids to school, 8 a.m., I'm in the work mode because that's my best energy and that's when I'm going to dive into things. Okay. Come the afternoon, I have football practice, basketball starting soon. Like I am depleted by the time afternoon comes that I know for myself when time blocking, I know the first couple hours from probably 8 to 10, maybe 9 to 11, like that's my most productive workspace for my business.
There you go. I love it. Also, by the way, I've been working more in the mornings too. I'm learning. I'm learning from the master.
I will convert you all to be morning workers. I'm just kidding.
Now, Ann Cook, thank you, girlfriend, for dropping this awesome tip. She says that we have a calendar app on our phones that her and her husband can both see and edit. And guys, if you have a partner, a spouse, somebody, even with your kids who are old enough to have that sort of thing on their phones, implement that. You can, with iPhone, you could use the Google Calendar and you can share it. For me, with my boyfriend, we lived together. We lived together for 7 years, and basically I have to do a constant reminder, being like, oh, just so you know, I'm going on a girls' weekend this weekend. Oh, just so you know, like every single day, I'm like, here's your daily reminder, because he doesn't need to look at the calendar. That's not his
Right.
thing.
That's
But
kind of my husband too.
if you have somebody that you have to share that with, then share that time blocking or share that calendar with them. So thank you, Anne, for sharing that. Now let's move on to the next segment that can help you show up in an hour, in as little as an hour a day. Time blocking is super, super important. Poor Cassie. She's coughing it up over there. But time blocking is super important because you need to identify, with the, when we soon talk to you about, your or to work in as little as an hour, you need to know where exactly to do that work. However, before we even dive into that, we need to talk a little bit about preparing yourself, so that way during the busiest times of your week, you have stuff ready, so that way you only work 1 hour a week, you only work maybe even less than an hour a week. And one way to do that is by batch working. So I don't know who here, go ahead, drop a one in the chat if you've ever heard of content batching. Content batching, whether it's your Facebook posts, Instagram posts, your ideas for your stories, TikToks, reels, whatever it is, where basically you sit down and you just batch create a lot of your content. It's going to be very similar to how you would almost meal prep. It's a very
Mhm.
similar concept. I'm personally not a very good meal prepper. I'd like to get into the habit of it because it sets your day or your week up for, staying consistent to those habits. So content batching is a very similar manner. If you're really, really busy throughout the week and you've discovered, oh my gosh, I only have 30 minutes to an hour that I can devote each day, then constant or content batching is going to work really, really effectively for you. This is where you can spend, 1 to 2 hours on the weekends, or whenever you have a little bit more me time in the evenings where you don't mind creating. Maybe that's your outlet. And this is where you can create a couple posts to help you get by ahead of, help you get by throughout the week. So personally, in the mornings when I'm journaling my thoughts, I might be inspired and create one or two posts for the following day. I have tried so hard to content batch like a week ahead of time or a month ahead of time. And what often happens is that I change my mind. So I've kind of realized, you know what, if I can do 1 to 2 posts for the following, couple days, that works for me. So you've got to discover what works for you. But I know some people where they will simply go ahead and just batch it all out for the whole week or the whole month, and that's fine. Now, when you create these posts, you can either store them in your phone. I have an iPhone where I have the Notes app and I store them there. Or I think it was Anne who told us this. Anne Cook, the little rock star that she is, she has. Just going to give her a shout out. She wasn't expecting this, but she shared with us where you can create your own Facebook group. and just make it private for you only. And you could post your posts there. And then when you're ready to use them, you can copy and paste them over to your account. And I'm like, oh, that's brilliant. It's a really good idea. So, Anne, thank you for that, that little tip that you gave us. I just wanted to give you a shout out for that, with sharing that. It's quite the leader of you for sharing that with us. Um, the bottom line is, guys, content batching is going to just be like meal prepping. My as of right now, my form of meal prepping is when I make a dinner, I make sure that I'm going to have enough for the next day or another night later that week. So that way we're not just running to go to McDonald's or get a pizza. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but it just makes sure that our eating habits are a little bit better by planning ahead of time. And it's the same thing with content batching is what can you do to create enough content to help you get by with a couple days, knowing that things are going to be a little bit on the crazier side. And it'll just help you stick with your habits and stay consistent with showing up on social media.
Right. And I love that. I love content batching and just being prepared a little bit because it also alleviates that stress of that day where you're sitting and going, what am I going to post today? What am I going to post today? Which, I mean, if you content batch and you have a day or two, you know what you're posting. And so it takes that stress and that overwhelm away, which then leads me into like the DMO. If you guys have ever heard of like a DMO, WMO, Power Hour, drop me a one. Let me know if you guys have heard of it, if you use it. Because if you content batch, it does make your daily mode of operation, right? Your DMO, daily mode of operation, or your WMO, your weekly mode of operation, or power hours, just that. It makes it operational because you're ready to go. You don't have to sit and spend 30 minutes trying to figure out what you're going to do. Okay, so here's an example of DMO for your social media, right? So social media, you can have, make sure you're in your stories daily, 5 to 8 panels, story blocks. Make sure you're doing stories daily. Post on your main feed, so on your profile, or wherever you're at, on whatever social media platform, at least 3 times a week. You don't have to go all crazy and post 6 times a day or 5 times a day. 3 times a week is enough, guys. We're here to tell you it is enough. Make sure that if you have an event coming up or if your company has something going on, make sure that you're in that event, that telephone call, that Zoom meeting, whatever it is. Make sure you stay connected with your company. I know some of them have them like 5 days a week, 4 days a week, but just make sure that you're in at least one of those meetings that are only going to fuel you and benefit you. And then the most important, guys, prospecting and connecting 2 to 4 new connections every day, 2 to 3 follow-ups every day, and 3 to 5 warm reach outs. Okay. So with your DMO, you don't have to do this in a solid hour. Training, you could block out time for trainings. So if you're watching trainings, you can consider that part of your DMO. You should be doing that at least every day, looking at growing, right? DMOs are for growing yourself and growing your audience and growing your connections. Okay. So just if you don't have an hour a day, if you're thinking like a power hour, I have like 10 minutes here and there. That's perfect. Block out, that 10 minutes, that 5 minutes, or take your DMO, the ones that are on the screen, like your money-making activities, the things that you need to be doing. Say, okay, when I have a 10-minute break, I'm going to do, maybe 3 stories. Okay, that's good. And then, hey, we all take our phone to the bathroom. Let's be real. Okay. I mean, I know I'm not alone in this. So I don't know what kind of emoji. Put an emoji.
The toilet one?
The toilet one. I was going to say the poop emoji, but then I was like, that's
works too.
Anyways, I know we all have these when we go pee or other things. All you have to do is sit there and, you can do a couple stories, right? You can even post your post if you have it written out and it's in your notes, to copy and paste it and post your post. Okay. So if you're like me, I go pee at least like 15 times a day because I drink a lot of water. See, I'm not alone. So, um, break it up into increments. If it's 10 minutes, do 3 stories one time. And then your next 10 minutes, you do your post. And then say you find another 10-minute little gap. You're going to connect with some new people, maybe from a group or something, the next 10 minutes. So see, you don't have to sit down and be like, well, Cassie, I don't have an hour to sit down and work on my business. My life is crazy. I get that. But why I'm drinking my morning coffee, one of the first things I do, I haven't done it in the last week, okay? So if you go stalk me, there has been nothing on my social media because I haven't cared. Okay, I have slept a
Just
lot.
been a
And
little sick, to
yeah,
be fair.
and I've had homecoming week last week, so I would sleep all day, get up because my priority is my kids, and get ready and go to homecoming events and then come home and sleep. So, um, but what I would do typically, my morning routine is while I'm drinking my coffee, I'm either making a couple stories or I'm doing my post. I'm connecting on social media. I'm going through and scrolling. What I found for me that works is if you do your post first thing in the morning before the crazy happens, before life happens, you can just get on Facebook and you can respond to those people here and there throughout the day. Your post is done. You can then enjoy the engagement and the connection piece of it. And so I encourage you to do your DMO because the one thing, if you're doing your DMO every day, then your weekly mode of operation, that WMO, is your content batching, right? If you spend an hour or two on the weekend or whenever to create your content batching, you have your DMO, your WMO, and your power hour throughout the day.
Absolutely. I love it. I love it. So let's wrap this baby up. All right. So to wrap things up, this is what we want you to do. So to help you show up more consistently, all right? This doesn't benefit us. This benefits you. You're the ones who are like, hey, this is a problem in my life. So first and foremost, to help you show up consistently and knock out that DMO, go ahead, grab yourself a calendar or map out the 156 hours that you have each and every week. Was it 156 or was it 168? Whatever it is, 24 hours a day times 7. And just map that out for the 7 days and actually block out the non-negotiables that you have to figure out the time that you can then devote to your business and then guard that time like no other. And then from there, batch create your content. You recognize, okay, Monday through Friday, super, super busy. I only have 30 minutes to devote to my business. I only have an hour. These are the little crevices that I have. That's fine. But then on the weekends, batch create some stuff to help you get yourself by throughout the following week. Then from there, after you're done, creating some of your content for the following week, focus on your money making activities. I'm going to put those up back up on the screen. Your money making activities. This is what Cassie just ran you through. All you have to do, if all you have to do is 1 hour a day to get stuff done, then do these core tasks inside this hour. And if you do these tasks daily, then know that even if you do it for 30 minutes, your business is going to move forward. It's going to grow. Okay. Then once you're done with time blocking your week out, what I want you to do is go ahead and commit, drop it below. This is the time that I have to work on my business. And then drop below the money making activities that you are going to be implementing each and every day. All right. You committing doesn't benefit us.
Right.
You committing is only going to benefit you. But we want to give you that space to help you do that, to give you a place where you can publicly put your flag in the ground and be like, this is me. This is what I'm doing. That way you can go ahead and take your business to that next level. So that's it for today, my friends. We hope you got some value out of today's training. Let us know below. After, of course, you do your things, you drop your time batching when you're going to be doing your work and your money making activities. And of course, if you got value out of this, go ahead, share it with a friend, invite a friend into the group or some of your team members. This is just the place where, people can go ahead and learn and grow on how to really take their business to that next level. So that's it. Anything else that you wanted to add, Cassie?
No, I'm
All right.
good.
She's like, I'm ready for bed. Poor girl.
It's nap time in my time blocking schedule.
Good for you. All right, gang. We will see you guys again next week. As usual, if you have any questions, let us know. And we're excited to see what you're going to do to go ahead and commit to your business. We'll talk soon. Bye.